Guys, my name is Perry and I'm a recent Dickinson College grad with an environmental science degree. Today I'm going to tell you a brief story about how my environmental knowledge has helped me in my everyday life. This is my friend John. After graduating from Dickinson, John went on to law school and also began interning at a very well-renowned law firm in New York City. John's life is incredibly stressful. He is in over his head with work and he never sleeps. He constantly worries about his expenses and being able to pay his bills on time. John used to be able to afford a healthy lifestyle, but he has since traded in his healthy eating habits for a lot of fast food. John realizes he's beginning to gain weight, feel lethargic, and he is craving some fresh fruits and vegetables, but he doesn't know what to do. He asked around the office and at school until someone suggested vertical gardening. His coworker showed him some pictures, but he wasn't quite convinced, so he called me up to ask about how to do it. John told me he didn't have the money or time to build and maintain a garden, but I explained to him that vertical gardening is cheap and requires minimal maintenance. I told him he didn't need any extra space and that he could build the garden out of recycled pallets, free at most gardening centers, plastic bottles, and even pantyhose. After giving John this information about how easily he could build a vertical garden in his own home, he was overjoyed. He was really looking forward to having access to some fresh produce again, without breaking the bank. Vertical gardening is a method of growing plants on walls. They are found in nature and are popping up in major cities around the world. Nutrient water is able to flow over a vertical surface to feed the roots and keep the plants alive. One specific type of vertical gardening is a green wall. A green wall is a wall partially or completely covered with greenery that includes a growing medium such as soil. Most green walls feature an integrated water delivery system. Vertical gardening has its roots in the ancient civilization of Babylon. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon are one of the 7 wonders of the world. In the 1920s, British and American architects thought to use the integration of garden features and plant usage by constructing pergolas. Over the next 80-some years, vertical gardening exploded, and in 2002, a stunning example of a living wall was constructed in MFO Park in Switzerland. It was a multi-tiered wall with 1,300 plants. It was approximately 300 inches long and 50 inches high. In 2007, Seattle implemented the Green Factor, which included the greening of buildings in the city. There are many benefits to vertical gardening. For instance, it's a space saver and can be constructed on nearly any surface. Vertical gardening is also cheaper and easier than traditional horizontal gardening. Additionally, you can use virtually anything for your growing containers. Vertical gardens can increase access to locally grown food in urban areas, thereby creating sustainable and local control of food sources. Yields from vertical gardening also serve to supplement a grocery budget. Green walls create lush, beautiful green spaces in cities where people are often surrounded by concrete. Green walls have the ability to reduce the effects of the urban heat island effect. Green walls clean the airspace whether inside or outside. The implementation of a green wall also leads to a lesser need for heat and air conditioning, which cuts costs. A vertical garden can be constructed in 4 simple steps. First, you will need to gather materials. Let's say you want to build a vertical garden using pallets. You will need 1 wooden pallet, a burlap, sturdy garden film, scissors, furniture stapler, universal soil, and plant seeds or young seedlings. Next, you will need to attach the burlap to the inside of the pallet. Wrap the back of the pallet with garden film and secure it with the furniture stapler. Do this just on 3 sides by turning the corners. Next, turn the construction with the open end up and fill the entire volume with soil. Finally, make small cuts with scissors in the burlap and place the seeds or the plant seedlings. It is desirable to keep the pallet in a horizontal position until the germination is guaranteed. Then it can be flipped vertical when you see that the plants are settled down.
My name is Haldane Martin and I'm a product designer from Cape Town, South Africa. I was inspired by this vision for high-density sustainable living where we bring nature and farming back into the urban jungle. For the actual design, I found my inspiration in nature. For example, the space-efficient packing array of a bee's honeycomb and the water and energy-efficient distribution strategies of creeper branching patterns. Here you can see the unfolding of the design process in my early sketches, mock-ups and 3D models.
Vertical gardening can be very transformative for poor and urban communities. Many people have been pushing for the rise of urban agriculture in impoverished areas as a method to combat poverty and provide food independence models for an urban lifestyle. We must work with the poor to help them feed themselves and thus empower them to eradicate their own hunger. This can be done through simple, affordable community initiatives such as vertical gardening that put the success in the hands of the hungry. Given the poor urban populations lack infrastructure and space, systems of agriculture must be designed with minimal space and soil fertility, but also with limited startup costs. Some NGOs have already implemented vertical gardening initiatives in poor communities with the goal of empowering the poor through providing food independence. One NGO called the Roots of Health initiated a program called the Vertical Garden Lease Program in the Philippines. This enables residents to grow their own healthy food. The best thing about vertical gardening is that anyone can do it. This one agricultural practice has the ability to eradicate hunger and combat poverty. Vertical gardening enables people to be in control of their food and consume healthy foods without any major expenses or labor.